in a society where following rules is expected and being independent is viewed as dangerous. Sigma men will always be distinctive. These sharp individualists are renowned for their stubborn independence, calm confidence, and unflinching reluctance to submit to authority figures, whether they be a lover, a friend, or a boss. Sigma guys are infamously challenging to manage. Even if someone is able to persuade them, it will probably be of their own free will rather than as a result of manipulation or coercion. But while many people would find this conduct intimidating, what makes them so fiercely uncontrollable is actually a testament to their strength and fearlessness in sticking up for what they believe in. Not the rejection of any leader, but rather the general rejection of arrogance and lying. Here are 10 reasons why no one can manage a Sigma guy, starting with the fact that they will never accept subordination since they place a high value on their freedom. These men resist being manipulated and will not submit to anybody or anything. Any attempt to subdue them will be resisted because they see it as a grave threat to their independence. They will resist any attempts to impose themselves as subordinates and will not put up with situations when someone is trying to do so. Due to this quality, Sigma males are frequently viewed as being against authority since they find it intolerable when others try to manipulate them. They are exceedingly challenging to manage and collaborate with. They will not blindly obey any rules or directives they disagree with, and they will always make sure to speak their opinions if they think anything is wrong if you try to force them into a subordinate position or question their freedom. Sure, if everything is in alignment with their own values, they can be quite cooperative and willing to comply. But it's nearly impossible to persuade them to act contrary to their moral principles. Because of this, many Sigmas are regarded as loners who like to accomplish things independently. They have great perceptive abilities and are not hesitant to stand out for what they believe in. Many male Sigmas have enhanced intuition and perception, which enable them to judge people and circumstances rapidly. They can distinguish between those who have sincere intentions and those who might be trying to influence or control them, thanks to their keen perception. They might be less prone to fall for trickery or be put to use by others. They may be less likely to fall into deceptive ploys or to use by others. It's difficult to control someone who can see through deceit and manipulation, which is why Sigma men are often difficult to control because they have an intuitive sense of self. Making them do something that doesn't fit with their morals or personal vision is challenging. Additionally, it is challenging to forecast their conduct and manage them in accordance with predefined plans or methods due to their excellent perceptual abilities. While getting someone to do anything might be possible, it will probably need to be done in a way that avoids blatant manipulation or compulsion. This doesn't imply that they are impervious to control, but rather that it gets challenging to uphold with time. 3. They have firm boundaries. These men prioritize their own time, space, and energy while having a clear understanding of their limits. They are clear communicators who make it known when someone crosses their borders. The strength in creating and enforcing boundaries makes it challenging to control them to command someone. You have to force them into a state of subordination. This means you need to make them relinquish their autonomy and power, which is hard to do for someone who has strong boundaries. Sigma males are not easily intimidated and won't let others dictate their lives or interfere with their personal limits. Sigmas will resist control and push back against anyone who tries to cross their boundaries, making them much harder to control while some may be intimidated by their independent spirit. Sigmas view this as a source of strength and freedom. Not only are they protective of their personal boundaries, but they also stay away from toxic relationships or situations that bring them down. They know when it's time to move on and don't let anyone control their journey. While some may view them as isolated and aloof, Sigma men are very aware of their surroundings and the people in them. They understand that enabling toxic behavior harms their well-being. So they choose not to be around it. 4. They are pragmatic thinkers. Sigma men are highly practical and often shrewd in their thinking. They don't follow conventional wisdom or take things at face value. They have a highly analytical mind and can assess situations impartially. This pragmatism and objectivity make them more challenging to control. Their unconventional mindset is hard to predict, and you can't control someone if you can't predict their moves. So they are much harder to manipulate than someone who follows established conventions. Sigma men follow their own rules rather than just believing what they are told. They may not respond well to some tactics that work effectively on other people. Those trying to keep them in line may find it frustrating as they do not influence them. They don't easily comply with other people's expectations, and as a result, they are frequently perceived as rebels without a cause. But this couldn't be further from reality, as people frequently follow their ideals and motivations throughout life. They have the freedom to make decisions without being affected by others since they are able to think critically and establish their own thoughts and beliefs. Their mind is a fortress that can be difficult to penetrate, protecting them from unnecessary influence and manipulation. 5. They are reserved and mysterious. A Sigma man is not an easy person to get to know because he tends to remain to himself. Sigmas typically keep their identities a secret and use their words carefully. Regarding social engagement, they are reserved and calculating. Given how challenging it is to deceive someone, their guarded character makes them difficult to manage. If you are unaware of their emotions and ideas, often preferring to keep people in the dark about their genuine motivations, Sigma males can be enigmatic. They don't do this out of maliciousness but rather to protect themselves by keeping people in the dark. Sigmas stay one step ahead of those who may be trying to control them or take advantage of their strengths. Some may view this as suspicious behavior, but it's simply a way for Sigma to maintain its independence. It's difficult for someone to manipulate a Sigma male if they can't get close enough to him or understand what makes him tick. So while it may be frustrating for those who want to control him, it serves as an effective defense mechanism for Sigma himself. So his mysteriousness and reserve can be a source of strength rather than weakness. 6. Detachments from material possessions. Sigma males are not interested in material possessions, status, symbols or societal recognition. They don't correlate money or objects with happiness or fulfillment. They aim to live a simple and uncluttered life. So controlling them through material possessions is difficult. Don't get me wrong. Although they don't mind earning money or owning wonderful things, Sigma men only partake in the material world when doing so furthers their values and objectives. Sigmas can, therefore, become successful or even affluent even if they may be hard to manage through financial goods. They simply won't allow anyone to use or manipulate their road to success rather than according to social norms and attempting to impress others. Sigmas have no problem leading autonomous, honest lives. They place more importance on upholding their principles than amassing useless wealth or opulence for show. They are aware that external success or societal acceptance cannot provide long-lasting fulfillment. This detachment allows them to build a strong sense of self without needing anyone's approval by resisting control and detaching themselves from external validation. Sigmas remain autonomous and independent in the face of adversity. 7. They are incredibly self-reliant. Sigma men take care of their needs, including their emotional, physical and financial needs. They don't rely on other people for validation, approval or financial support. Their self-reliant nature applies to other areas of their lives as well. They will take action and get things done without waiting for somebody else to do it for them. They don't let external forces control their lives or dictate their actions. So it's difficult for anyone to manipulate them. They also take responsibility for their actions and don't blame or make excuses when things go wrong. They are independent thinkers who trust their intuition and follow their own path rather than trying to fit in with the crowd. This makes them difficult to control as their decisions are based on their own internal motivation rather than external pressures. Many Sigma males may not even realize how truly self-reliant they are, as this is simply a natural part of who they are, even though they may not admit it. Their self-reliance is a powerful source of strength and resilience. 8. They don't do what everyone else is doing, unlike society, which likes to categorize people into specific stereotypes. Sigma males have no interest in conforming to social norms, expectations or labels. They won't follow the crowd, dress in the same way or have the same hobbies or interests as everyone else. They prefer to be independent thinkers who chart their own path and don't follow the trends of the herd. They don't want to be controlled by anybody or anything because of their refusal to conform. Those who attempt to manipulate people are extremely tough to control. Because they see Sigma guys as a direct danger to their independence and freedom, they will fight back and grow even more nonconformist. They have a psychological barrier that protects them from being duped by coercion or other group pressure techniques because of their lone wolf nature. They have a good idea of who they are by age 9. Males are aware of their value and are clear about who they are and what they stand for. They won't simply comply with someone else's requests because it may be quicker or more convenient right now. They don't define themselves through others' opinions or approval and are confident in their choices and decisions. This sense of self-worth makes it challenging to control them. Unlike those insecure and lacking self-esteem, Sigma men are not swayed by external forces such as pressure or manipulation. They know what they want and won't deviate from their path to attain it. Anyone trying to control a Sigma must challenge their sense of self or identity, which is very difficult to accomplish. 10. Independence is their core value. These males are very protective of their freedom. They fight to avoid being used and to maintain their independence. This is a deliberate decision to stay loyal to themselves and their values, not out of conceit or disregard for others. Sigmas make decisions based on their understanding that they alone are accountable for their own life. How people seek relationships and occupations demonstrates this. They won't give up their independence or alter who they are to appease others or fit into a particular stereotype. Even when conforming would be simpler. Even in the face of pressure, Sigma will maintain its independence and integrity.